Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Tonight we'll try again Lichess. Let's play a little bit more Blitz. There were some good games yesterday. Uh, the games feel more natural. People play more natural moves, so I don't think they are cheating as they do on chess.com. So let's try to play a little bit on lichess.com to see how that will go. Uh, Again, I'm open to game analysis, or we can play, or we can talk about something chess related if you are up to it. But until that happens, until I see some request in the chat, I'll just play. So let's play 5 minute game because it's easy to find an opponent. Okay, we play d4 to stop e5. Okay, and bishop f4, the bad bishop will be out. And now we put maybe okay. Actually, we're not gonna play so actively as we used to. We are going to and now hit with c4, g5, bishop g3. So okay, what about c5 next? Hey Jonathan, how are you? How is life? Okay, so let's see what will my opponent play. He seems uh-huh, nice. Okay, and if I take, no, we'll take in the center of the board first. We'll try to fix the center of the board because pawn on d5 will actually be slightly loose. And if he does take on c3, we will have backward pawn, but we will be able to play quick c4, so we will get rid of it. Yep. And now queen d5. Queen d5, but now we do have center of the board, so c4 immediately. We'll and maybe we can even open up the game with d5. Why not? Taking will bring him nothing. And let's actually open up the center of the board. His king is in the center uh, of the board. Well, nothing new, Jonathan. I'll just play on Lichess a little to see. Uh, okay, give me a second to see how that will pan out. Knight d4, we hit the bishop now. On e takes d5, we first take, knight takes, and we recapture the pawn. And now his king is slightly loose because these pawns didn't do their job. Mhm. Okay, we'll take on e6, definitely. Take on e6, so, okay, bishop e6. And now we can sacrifice a pawn with c5, queen c5 will take, he'll take, and we have bishop h5, making his king go on f8. And although we are a pawn down, our initiative should grow. Bishop h5. Now rook c1 comes, and if we somehow put this rook into the game and activate the queen, he's technically busted. Queen f3, we hit the king again. Now queen f7 might come. Actually, it will come. He has to play knight f5 to prevent it, and we have e4, winning the piece. And our initiative paid off for now. So let's see, what will he play? Where he has, okay, bishop g4, but that will not save you, my friend. Okay, and after bishop h3, I don't care. I'll get this knight. I'll get this knight, and on this move, Okay, queen. Now I can take because if he takes, yeah, we have queen g5. It would he would have dropped the rook. Now we hit the queen with pardon with tempo, and now our entire army plays. So yeah, he should have castled and he didn't. Basic opening principles: do not play with the wing pawns in the opening. Do not weaken your squares unnecessarily. Castle early, but he failed to follow those, and now he got punished. Yeah, but I do have check, and he will put the queen here, and now rook comes with a tempo, and just it's time. It's demolition time. He actually loses the queen, but I don't have to. I have queen c8 checkmate. Okay, this was a bad move. And after this, I don't know if I'm better. Yeah, I'm just better. Because when you play moves like this, thank you for the GG, Jonathan. Uh, you don't control the center of the board. You don't help your pieces develop. And when you play a g5, you actually start an attack. When you start an attack, there is no time for development anymore. You're burning your bridges. When you start to attack, you must be certain that your attack will crash through. If you are uncertain, develop. Like I did, I played a slightly modest move, slightly passive move, but my position stayed solid, and I was able to keep the pieces on the board, keep the position rich with possibilities. He didn't. After this move, he needed to play g4, h5, but the point is that, uh, yeah, he just plays twice with the same piece. He violates every single chess principle regarding the opening, and now his king will be stuck in the center of the board. He hasn't castled because he needs this rook to attack down this file because he wanted to play h5 and so on. But he should have first maybe castled along by moving the queen maybe to f6, and then okay, then he would have some logical piece set up, but he didn't. He was too rash to attack, and we said this so many times: attack on the wing is refuted with the attack in the center of the board, and now we take a little bit of calculation. Yes, we do have a backward pawn, but after he retakes here, we have c4 and we will get rid of it. Meanwhile, the center will be open and we can sacrifice even some pawns to attack his king in the center of the board. Queen d5. Okay, so he probably wanted to castle long. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. But White developed his entire army. Meanwhile, Black needs castling, and he is one tempo behind, one move behind to catch up. And when you're in such a situation, you may not wait. You need to act decisively because the advantage is temporary. So I played c4 and opened up the center. When you have opponent's king in the center, open the center and attack him. You can attack because if you follow the open, hello Cup, welcome back to the stream. How are you? How was your day? So when you have opponent's king in the center, open up the center, and you will usually have a strong attack because maybe even decisive one. Because if you follow the opening principles and you grouped your pieces towards the center, they will already be at the very least decently positioned to carry out the attack. And here already knight d4, a nice move because if he takes, we take, and take. Well, I'm trying out Lichess Cup again. I liked yesterday. experience because people are playing human moves, normal moves. I don't think they cheat on Lichess. So I'll continue playing a little bit more here to see just how it looks like. So again, we will continue with this intermediate move, and now actually uh, we have e4 next coming, and we do have our own attack. His h5 will not work. Maybe I can even, well, I'll play e4 first, and then think about it later. And we will have central pawn phalanx. We talked about it, e4, e5, and they will be far advanced. King will be in the center of the board, and we can even sacrifice some pawns. And things are getting rough for black. So remember, this is something typical that beginners do. Don't play these wing attacks if you are not fully developed. It doesn't work out with precise play. Your opponent will punish you, and he will punish you by opening up the center of the board, like I did with the CD5. Immediately, the center will get open, and after this move, you see the initiative. Had he taken like this, I'll still play c4 and maybe on something like this. I'm faster with my attack because his knight hangs. So if he plays something like this, well, let me see. I might take here, but I don't have to. I have something like this. Maybe. No, I won't. Pardon. I don't have to. I don't have to. I can go for, yeah, I can go simply developing rook c1, and what will he play? On this move, I do have rook c5, and he needs to go back. And let me see, what else can I play? I can take, and on g4 we do have knight to e5, and his queen hangs, so he needs to take. But now check comes, and where will you go with the king? Usually, the position gets uh, worse for the side that plays on the wing once we open up the center. So uh, he played, wait a second, okay, queen d6. He wanted to castle king side, pardon, queen side, but it's too late. It's too late because white developed his army and he is now playing the game. He is attacking, he's playing the middle game. And you see, you cannot, it's not mathematics. You cannot play combinatorics, you cannot flip flop. You know, either you are developed or you are not. And if you're not developed and black needs castling to connect the rooks and needs the queen to enter the game somehow, if you're not developed, then you fight with what you have. And right now, black only has a bishop developed. This knight is iffy. He's not well placed. But okay, let's take him into account just for the sake of conversation. Again, he plays with two pieces versus one, two, three, uh, three white pieces, and uh, my queen can actually check and enter into the game with the tempo. So that's almost a fourth piece, and this rook can enter into the game very fast. Uh, pardon, very fast after the exchanges. Uh, so I have entire army ready to fight. His army doesn't play. He needs to connect the rooks, and his queen is slightly suffocated by my pawns and by all these pawns. So and especially the knight on e7. So he's not well placed to attack. His coordination is slightly weak, and now there is no time for these moves. c5. Let me see if there was some other move. No, c5 was actually the strongest move. And again, it's not some magical move. You don't need an engine. You just need basic opening principles. We have development advantage. We finished development. He didn't. If we give him time, he will castle and finish development, and then our advantage disappears. When you have advantage, you have to use it, even if that means that you have to sacrifice. So we played c5 to deflect the queen, and now open up files. Now this diagonal is horribly weak, and we do take away a d file from white, so he may not castle kingside, queenside, pardon. And with queenside, kingside horribly weakened, look, these pawns weakened this diagonal. These are all weak squares now because he doesn't have uh, pawns, these pawns to defend them. Now we lead the attack. And after, well, now you play opening, early middle game. Open the game in the center, Cup. Open the game in the center. Uh, Rook c1, we attack the queen with the tempo. Again, early opening, early middle game. Mobilize your forces, create an attack. We'll go through this game again, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Queen d6, queen f3. Again, we develop with the tempo. If he went here, he would get checkmated, right? So he needs to give up a piece, and after this, and d4, the game is over. So let's go again to show this again. Uh, c4. So we always want to have influence with our pawns on the center of the board. c4 is important in that way, in these d4 openings, because we contest the center, we contest the d5 square. And g5, this is the attack on the wing, attack on the flank. These attacks are refuted by the attack in the center. So we need to make central action as soon as possible. Bishop d6, we don't waste time. It's the opening. We're still in the opening. We haven't mobilized our entire army. So we play knight c3 to develop a piece. Knight e4, he still doesn't threat anything with this h5, h4 push. We still have time. And now he played twice with the same piece. Always analyze the position the way I do. Try to uh, lead a monologue with your, you know, he played it twice with the same piece. d5 is now loose because this knight was protecting d5. Now he doesn't. And again, he hasn't developed fully. He hasn't castled yet. Pardon? No castling. Uh, these moves are very committal. Always look at the squares that get uh, weakened when your opponent plays something like this. And these are the squares that are actually uh, weakened. At the moment, we cannot use them, but that doesn't mean that they will disappear. They are still there. So now I open up the center because I have fully mobilized army. When you have fully mobilized army and your opponent doesn't, you tend to open up the game because you will overpower them with your numbers. So he exchanged. Now look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. We have an extra piece in a fight. Bishop g3 again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Queen d5. He wanted to bail out, but you may not allow it. Now, if he castles, he would have a good position. But after c4, we gain tempo by attacking the queen. Now he can no longer castle. He could have tried maybe queen a5 or queen d6, but this was not the best. And now again, we have fully mobilized army, we're fully developed, and he isn't. And we have actually great presence in the center of the game. This is the moment to open up the game. We fight his two developed pieces with our entire army and our pawns. He cannot withstand the the fight pardon, he cannot withstand the combat, he cannot withstand the pressure because he doesn't have enough forces to uh, to fight us. He played this move, but now it's time to go into initiative. This 94 move you will find through experience. I saw that his e6 square is under pressure and it will be weak. On e5, we simply take, and we can play, for example, bishop g4. And this is not going to be easy for my opponent because he is horribly behind in development, uh, and he hasn't castled yet. Maybe I can even play a, pardon, I cannot, but I can play. Hey Lula, how are you? Welcome to the stream. How is well? It's going quite lonely. Not many people are coming yet, but okay. Let's give them time. We're playing on Lichess, trying it out. So let's see how will that go. Bishop g4, and we still keep the initiative. So he played queen d6. We open up the game. Always open up, yeah, yeah, sometimes indeed. Always open up the game when you have fully mobilized army. And at this moment, your tactics, always be tactically alert and don't be upset if you don't see tactical shots or whatnot. You will see them as your tactical skill grows. So just work with your puzzles and you'll see it. But you need to, again, I repeat, lead the monologue. He wants to castle to finish development. We may not allow it. We need to keep the momentum going. We have fully mobilized army. He doesn't. When we have fully mobilized army, we have the advantage. We should grab the initiative by opening up the game. You open up the game and use your superior numbers to overpower the opponent. That is how I found c5. I gain time, and after this move, queen is exposed. We can play rook c1, introducing yet another piece into play, and he will still have three pieces defending. And I can exchange because now, in this position, okay, this diagonal was weak, but even if I didn't have bishop to h5, we have two pieces developed. He has two pieces developed, but now I can play rook c1, introducing yet another piece. Uh, and then I can even play a4 at some point, exchanging pawns, and then this rook will play, and our entire army plays, and he cannot fight everything with two pieces. D file is taken away. He cannot protect the diagonal because he weakened it with his early attack, and after this move, I think, yeah, no, this was the correct move. Rook c1, you see, he he made a mistake here. He should have played maybe queen a5, but even then, you can play again, continue with the same idea and simply grab the rook, the pawn, pardon, rook must move, and after this move, well, what can we play? And still we have initiative. His piece coordination is horrible. I mean, just horrible. And after you play a rook d1 to exchange this rook, he cannot fight you. You're so better coordinated. You're so natural. Your moves are flowing. Your pieces coordinate. They synergize well. His pieces are artificially placed. They don't support each other. And after queen d6, he blundered, and now to avoid checkmate, he had to give a piece, and then it's all about execution. So remember, when opponent tries something funky like g5, stay calm, finish development, and once you do that, seek from this point on after g5, always look at tactical opportunities. If you don't see them, again, don't panic. Just finish development and seek to open up the game as soon as possible. And you'll stand at the very least well. and don't just open up the game. You see what I'm doing? I'm opening up the game. I'm clearing files and diagonals because he cannot fend me off in the long run because I have many more pieces to fight, and I have uh, more open files to destroy him. You will. The problem is, yeah, Lula, that with tactics, you need to evaluate that you have a tactic. Then you'll find it. You need to figure out that you have a tactic. So, okay, let's go through the game. And hey, no problem, Cap. Just remember, attack on the wing is refuted with attack in the center. So here we play slightly passively, knight c3, but okay, nothing bad is happening. So we have e4. My opponent hasn't done anything wrong yet, and bishop g4. Can I simply take? Why is this pawn for free? How does he? Uh, how does he defend? He shouldn't be able to defend it. And his pieces are also passively clumped up. They're not positioned to attack on this side of the board. They are defensively positioned on the black side of the board, so they should maintain position, not attack the way he did. So he should have taken and then played bishop g4. Now he loses a pawn. Knight e7. Uh-huh. Knight to e4. We hit the bishop because bishop is undefended, and we have d7, d6. So I'm not gonna go for this pawn grabbing because he will have some development. I would like to have initiative, and I would like to. Mhm. Okay, take, and let's see. What can we do to avoid? So he will go here. Okay, queen e1. We are no longer pinned. Pardon. We are no longer pinned, and now what else can we do? This knight can go here and cannot go here. He can go to d5. Pardon. D5 can work. All right. a3. I don't want to allow knight b4. Knight d4 will be fine. Bishop d2. Bishop goes to c3. He will most likely hop with the knight. Yeah, most likely. He will hop with the knight. Yeah, and he'll have some pressure. Now I have misplayed a little, but okay. I hope I'm not gonna lose. Bishop c3, knight d5, but I'm actually not so worried about about taking on c3. And I will actually play queen to e4, hitting the g4 bishop. So on knight c3, I might take the bishop. So he will most likely play f5 next. We have queen c4 to pin the yeah, to pin the bishop, the knight, pardon. And does this work? What do we get with that move? No, but this might be dangerous actually. Yeah, that actually might be very dangerous. Knight e4. Give me a second, please. Knight. Hmm. And if I give you all this, knight d4, you'll take the queen. I take And if you take BC, so you will take here. Okay, okay, take it if you want. Uh, he still cannot take the bishop. Knight f3, uh-huh. That was the point. All right. He is a piece up. Very well. He is a piece up. 2, 4, 5, 2, 4. Okay. And on rook f8, what does he do next? I'm losing this one. Okay. I knew I misplayed it earlier. Never mind. And I should have played bishop before, skewering. Before just skewering the rook. Okay, now the situation is different. Now we... Uh-huh. Thank you for the knight. Thank you for the rook. And now you will go here. Exactly, and now you checkmate, right? Check. All right, and after this move, we have a draw, which is not such a bad result after all. Can I somehow defend? No, I cannot. Okay, we saved the game. We saved the game. Yeah. No, sir. You cannot save the game. You cannot win. I made a mistake. I misplayed it. Never mind. Okay. D4. I was trying to prepare the. Thank you for the GG Cup. To prepare a semi Tarash with black, but it's very hard to play. And why would I like to play semi Tarash? Because it falls very nicely into the talk we had about the pawn phalanx, backward pawns, passed pawns, and so on. And it would sit very nicely with those lessons. So you would have immediately ideas uh, for the middle game. You would know what to do. I do too, but let me see. Give me a second, please. We'll see. Yeah, bishop d7. Okay, we'll take with the double pawn. This is important because now we control the important squares uh, that he wished uh, to control. He would like to jump to e5. Now he doesn't have that anymore. Now we need to deal with queen b3, and we'll stand fine. So we'll go for the minority attack. Uh, I still calm, but I mean, I'm not calm. I'm not calm. Don't worry, Lola. I'm not calm, but panicking won't bring much. Okay, so he will try to. Okay, if I take and he takes, he gets open file. So we don't. I don't see benefit from taking on e4 that way. So if I allow him to go here, then he to e5. Then if I take, he takes. We still don't get much. So what happens if I play e5? Takes, takes. That's nice for us. But if he takes on d5, take on d4, there is an open file, and he drops a bishop. Okay, we'll play e5. If he takes on d5, we take on d4, and if he recaptures, pardon, we have queen to e3. We have queen to e3, hitting both the king and the bishop. So we are better developed. Again the same uh, adagio, as again the same principle. We are fully developed. Okay, now I can take and open up the game. Uh-huh. Okay, so if he takes, my queen will retake and maintain the pressure on d4. So he may not retake immediately. And let me see, what else can I play? Takes, bishop takes, e4. Okay, there are a lot of tactics here with if I take on e4, he'll take here and he'll plan to play bishop h7, hitting my queen. So we are not going to allow it. Uh, Also, c5 square is great square for the knight, so we may not play d5 yet. Uh, Therefore, we'll and my b5 pawn hangs. So we'll play b4 next. My queen is also loose and stands on this. Yeah, okay. So d4. You want to checkmate me, but okay. This is now the calculation. Queen, king e7 will be fine. Okay, and then he can take here, and I may not retake because of the rook. But we do have. Let me see. Queen g6. No. How do I swindle this guy? Bishop c6. And when you return, okay, we'll play g6. He'll take, hoping that I cannot retake. You see, a weakening move. Okay, we'll take. Now, with the g4, he weakened f4. He weakened, if look, all these squares are weak. And now after, let's say, bishop c6, his queen needs to, look how many weak squares he has. I can take here and claim that his rook is hanging. So he has no attack yet. And look, all these dark squares in white camp, all these are weak. So we'll play bishop e8. It's slightly ugly move. h4, he doesn't care, does he? And now attack on the wing. Again, we talked about this. Is refuted with attack in the center. We have rook c1. We grab both rooks now. Because when he takes, we take with the queen and the other rook will drop. And you see, he just weakens his king. He doesn't care. He just goes caveman mode forward. And okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. So what do we play now, my friend? You're a rook down. What do you play now? Again, And on queen b1, we hit both the queen and the bishop. So he needs to exchange. We hit both the queen and the bishop. He might play queen c4, but then we have bishop b5, hitting even more. So after he exchanges queens, we're happy, we're fine. He has no more immediate tricks or shenanigans. He's just busted. Yep, we have this pawn. We have bishop b5 coming. I mean, why do I care? Okay, a small tip, and I need to play fast so I don't get flagged. Decisive advantage. Do not seek for the best move. Just kill his counterplay, and his counterplay is way more restricted when he has less pieces. Okay, okay. D5, everything is protected. Take F6. Okay, check. I had a free rook. For the love of God. For the love of God. Okay. Simple stuff. Okay. Again, he left. Okay, so we can uh, take a look again. So first of all, he plays twice with the same piece in the opening. We talked about this in the earlier streams. Not good. Uh, okay, I cannot refute his 95 yet, but I just calmly develop my pieces. H6. Why did I play H6? Did I play this actually? Oh my god, why did I play this move? Why would I play H6? Stupid move. Okay, knight H5. We want to exchange now some pieces. Usually this bishop is white's hope of success. So if he goes down, then his attacking chances diminish. And we actually fight for d5 with c5 and these pieces. Okay, let's do it like this. Uh, we actually fight directly for the e5 square, and with knight h5, let's use some color like this. We actually, pardon, I know there was another color. Yeah, this. We indirectly fight for the e5 square by attacking his piece that controls e5. So we want to break his bind on the center and open up the game because we have one, two, three, four, five developed pieces. He has five, but okay, we'll after the exchanges we'll also have this bishop developed, and he made a imprecise move. He uh, broke the tension. He had no strength to uh, keep up the pressure on e5. But I think he should have tried something like g3. Maybe I don't know. It's too early for me, in my opinion. Now we developed another piece, and he yet again exchanges, we double the pawns. This is a trick that you can remember for this type of structure. We want to control e5 and c5 squares, especially e5 square, because his knight in London wants to hop to e5 and have some attacking chances. We also get a semi-open c file, and we can play the minority attack next. So remember, it is really helpful to talk pawns earlier. This pawn is slightly weak, but is useful because he controls the e5 square. We do get a semi-open file. We have some idea with, pardon, with minority attack. And this pawn, this is very important, is part of the pawn structure. There are no isolated pawns in black pawn structure. So we can live with this pawn. He cannot have a one pawn endgame. White cannot, because after c4 we take, and he will have two pawns on the queen side versus two pawns that black has on the queen side. Thanks for the GG cap. So taking in this position cd is very beneficial for black. Remember this idea. It can help you a lot. Of course, I'm not going to blunder the knight. c3, and we start with some action. Okay, here again, learn how to lead a monologue, learn how to analyze the position. What do I get if I take on e4? If he recaptures, then he gets semi-open f file, his rook becomes active, pardon, he gets some attacking chances with rook f3, rook g3. You don't need to be tactical genius to spot all this. So we see that taking on e4 at this moment doesn't bring us a lot. We don't get anything. The position remains the same. So taking on e4 is out of question. If we allow e5, what happens then? Well, okay, we take, he takes, this pawn will be on e5, and we need to move the knight. This position is the same as when he plays e5. So the only difference is that we have this weakness of the dark squares. At the moment, we cannot exploit it. And hey, Apostatlet, hi, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So uh, our knight would still have to go to e8 somewhere. So we don't like that. Furthermore, uh, our coordination is actually good. This is something that you need to feel, you need to learn how to feel. Black has decently posted pieces. These rooks are kinda iffy for the because he would love to have one of them on the e file, but okay, we will have time to uh, to bring the rooks to e file. Now look at black. Black is horribly weak on the dark squares. He is just uh, too weak, and his piece coordination is non-existent. He doesn't attack anything. He is walled. His bishop is actually walled off and restricted by our pawns. This knight is actually badly placed. Where will he go? He has no squares, pardon, to go. Look at this. And when you always look at the pieces, just listen to my advice and try. It doesn't matter if you evaluate the position correct or not. Just try. So look, his knight has nowhere to go. His bishop has nowhere to go. His queen is also blocked. Uh, if she goes here, she hits the strong point because b5 is defended, and we have rook a b8. We easily defend. We see that white actually has no attack, although he looks scary with this big pawn center. We see that white actually has no action at the moment, and he does have glaring weaknesses in his position. When we look at black, there are no weaknesses that white can attack. He just wants to play e5 and force us to move the knight to e8. Now is the time to strike because we actually have some weaknesses to attack. We have the dark squares. We do have minority attack. We'll talk about minority attack soon. So black actually has some action, and now is the time and better piece coordination because every black piece has some bright future, has some it can become good. Now is the time to open up the game, and that is exactly what I did. Once you challenge white in the center of the board and open up the position, we see that. Let me take the fan. Let me take the fan. This will be even better if we do it like now, like this. Give me a second. Flip. Can I just flip the board? No, it's okay. Let it stay like this. If we uh, remove these pawns after the exchanges, take a look at white's position. Take a look at the pieces. This, let me try. I'm afraid that I will delete the piece. Let me try. What is going on? It doesn't allow me to do that. Okay. What's this? Okay, great. We bypassed the problem, the technical issue. Look at this bishop. This bishop is hitting the thin air, and he cannot hit the big pawn because it is defended by the bishop. So this bishop has no prospect. Look at this knight. This knight, pardon, also has little prospects. On e4, it doesn't threaten much. We can play d5 and chase it away and get initiative. Uh, Black actually finished all in his development and his entire army plays. Again, he would love to have one of these rooks on e8, but that can be solved in one move. Now look at White's position. He yeah, but Knight can. Hello, Pro Blades. How are you? Welcome back to the stream. But Lula, Knight can jump over obstacles, you know. So, uh, if given the time, Knight can always improve his position. So, look at it from the bright side. So, If black is to move here, he can actually hit both of white pieces and claim a bishop. And uh, yeah, so we see that actually it is black when the position is open that he has some threats and better coordination, because he also have something like this where he will, for example, pressure after d5 maybe, pardon, it should have been something like this. He can temporarily sacrifice the pawn but have pressure on it, and just look at the threats that black has. He can siege the pawn after b5, for example, something like, well, we do have this tactical shot with queen c5. Again, look at these horrible dark squares, and he hit both the king and the bishop. So after this move, white king is weak. Uh, this knight still stands poorly, and white's pieces are on the first rank. And look at the black pieces. Rooks are on the open files. Queen puts pressure on the weak b2 pawn. Knight is currently restricted, but after d4, he can jump to d5 and have great e3 outpost. We can see that if the position opens, it is black who has the initiative, has good prospects of the game. So that's why we play d5. That's how you find d5. We don't want to allow white to push e5 because our knight has no from Serbia. Uh, uh, so so we see that e5 would give white something, but now after we stop that plan, we see that white is not positioned for the opening of the game. And he played queen e2. He wants to create some X-ray attack. Now we need to see how to handle the shout out for England. Uh, so now we need to figure out how to open up the game advantageously. He tries to line up against the b5. If we take on d5, uh, he can take like this, and this is kind of tricky. Actually, he cannot allow it. Yeah, yeah, okay, but here we get practically nothing. Nothing yet. But I have to take like this. Yeah, there is no other way. I was hoping to take like this. Maybe it was better. No, it leads to the same old, same old. Okay, so I guess there is no other way but to open up the position. But okay, I cannot stand worse here because this pawn is weak. It is isolated, undefended. My pieces are still well positioned. Uh, his pieces are placed for the kingside attack, but this pawn really chokes the queen. This queen has no squares to go, and we just need to take care about this x-ray. So taking here would not help us because if we play something like this, he would get the queen. He would get the queen. So we just need to deal with this threat. And I have played b4. Uh, Knight f6, queen e4. He wants to attack again, but now he plays only with two pieces. Our entire army plays, and you ban. Wow, a shame. Pro blades. G4. Uh, Never play moves like this. This g4 weakens so many squares around your king, and now your king is vulnerable along the second rank. Never play g4. G4 brought nothing to him. Uh, It's a slow attack, and black is way faster with his game. Uh, he wants to play something like this, but even then, he cannot open up the black king in time, and he will open up his king as well. So he needs to coordinate his rooks somewhere to open files before he embarks on something like this. G4, horrible move. So many weaknesses, achieved nothing. His attack is still at the same place where he was before. And we open up the position, rook a3, mm, bishop c6, and now again my entire position, my entire, pardon, army plays. And d5. He just doesn't want to admit a mistake. Trust me, guys. No, I didn't have to go to war. I was 16-year-old when the war broke off, so I couldn't. If I was slightly older, I would be enlisted. I would be enlisted to go, definitely. Yes, and it will backfire because now after d5 he insists that he has something on the uh, of the attack, but uh, this pawn defense, your queen and the bishop are actually want to trade places to attack, and you actually don't want to have g4. You want to have f4, f5 to attack, and your rook on a3 actually wants to go to g3. So this is a lot of time that required, and I actually have better coordination, and I exploit it by hitting the rook. And then I will uh, uh, retreat the bishop to e8. Yes, my bishop does stand poorly, but that's one bad piece. His entire army stands poorly. So I was even contemplating something like this. Never tried it. Uh, Let me see. It's. I think it's still blue. Give me a second. I don't even think they can be muted. Uh, yeah, technology. I know. I know. No, you don't mute them. You can silence them to zero. You see, now you don't hear anything. I think you do. You hear anything now? I don't think so. But now you can hear me, right? Now you should be able to hear me. Yeah, right now. So you can only turn down the volume to zero. Yeah. So you should be able to hear me now. Pro blades. Uh, so even in this position, black would still have no problems. But uh, after rook a5, something like this would again come, and he would lose the rook again because his king is horribly weak. It's okay. It's okay. It happens. So now you see his second rank is weak, and and he still wants to attack. And you see, had he had the pawn on g2, he actually he would still lose. Yeah, it's just impossible with this horrible coordination. I mean, his queen and bishop want to attack. On the king side, his rooks, uh, pardon, I think this is, yeah, pardon. His rooks want to attack on the queen side. You cannot play chess like this. You cannot uh, stretch your forces half on the king side, half on the queen side. Meanwhile, my entire army, pardon, is fighting on the queen side, and of course you will crash and burn on the queen side. And I don't know how to deal with this, what advice to give you, aside from to look for the coordination of the pieces and try to figure out where they want to go. That's why I commentate out loud when I play, so you can test your evaluation with mine. This is just a matter of technique. Another advice, when you have a blitz game and you're winning, don't look for the strongest move. Just kill opponent's counterplay. So here I am willing to exchange rook for the bishop because he will have less counterplay with one rook rather than with the bishop and rook. So another technical tool that you can use is to pin the opponent pieces to defense. We have passed pawns, so why not use it to pin one of his pieces uh, down, so he has even less uh, attacking power. And here, okay, this is again simple. We just kill his counterplay by exchanging all the pawns. And okay, this was, I blundered to take him the rook, but not the other time. And of course, you just win. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Okay. About the image. About the image. Give me a second. Okay, we are talking about top row. On the top row from the left, these are the my former teammates when we won the city team championship. So we were Belgrade team champions in 2003, if I recall correctly. That's the only image that survived all the warriors and all the shenanigans. So at the top left, the guy in the gray shirt, gray jacket, is now a chess arbiter. The guy next to him, I don't know what happened to him. He doesn't play anymore. The other guy also doesn't play. Uh, the guy in the orange jacket is me. That's why you see a big smile on my face because we won the championship thanks to my performance. I was the last board and I played like a madman. I just obliterated everyone and we won the championship. Uh, at the bottom row on the left, the guy died. He was the owner of the club. The guy next to him doesn't play anymore. He works as a postman. Guy on the right side of the trophy streams chess on Twitch. He streams on Serbian. He aims to become Intermaster. And the last guy in the bottom row doesn't play anymore. I think he went for some mathematics or something. I haven't seen him in quite some time. So only me and the guy from the right, first right, are still in chess. And of course, the guy in the gray jacket, by being the FIDE arbiter, are in chess. The others dropped out. They quit. And that's the only image that I have out of many that survived. Others are lost. But okay, uh, no need to lament. I hope after pandemics uh, passes that I will maybe get some nice pictures from the over-the-board tournaments. There are a lot of strong tournaments held in my city and across the country. So the moment the pandemic passes is the moment when I'll start playing over the board. So I'm not a chess coach and I haven't considered it because I don't think people can learn much from me. I mean, look at this stream and I don't see anyone uh, who improved by watching my streams yet. But okay, if somebody thinks that I can help, I'm always there. I'm always there. We can hook up on Discord or Skype or something, and if I can help, I'll definitely help. Believe me, I'll be there for you. I'll help. So no, because to be a chess coach, you need to learn how to pass knowledge to people, and I don't think I'm doing that good of a job. I do offer some useful tips and tricks, but until I see people improving, I'm not gonna consider doing it for money. So I'm gonna do it on a voluntarily basis. I'll help as many people as I can, and that's it. Uh, so let's play a couple of more games. I see that Eric Rosen is playing on Lichess. Maybe we'll play against him. Maybe we'll be paired up against him. Okay, let's see. National Master. Okay, let's see how will we fare against the National Master. If we play the opening well, hopefully, maybe. Aha. Okay, c3, knight c6. Okay, he hopes for the London, but okay, okay, sir, you have b5 most likely. He most likely plays b5. It's an annoying move. And why are you thinking b5 gives you initiative? Uh-huh. No, I'll play a3, and I will accept the double pawns because we'll get semi-open e file and e5 square for the knight. We talked about this when we talked about double pawns, because this b5 is a lot of things. And sadly, the music that I listen, I don't know the name. I don't know the name because it is played on the radio. Okay, he has bishop pair now, and he'll rejoice like a child. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna. Okay, he tries to play. He doesn't have. Never heard of them, so I'll give them a shot. I'll give them a shot. Okay, 95. We have strong point on e5, and we'll actually try to see what else we can do. He's behind in development. This bishop is slightly restricted due to my pawn structure. And okay, he has e6. Bishop d1 and a4. No. Uh, what happens if I play on the king side? I am slightly better. I'm better developed. He needs only one move to finish development. So now is the time to strike. g4. I need to make some sort of action to exploit this slight uh, advantage that I have. And I don't have much. I really don't. But I hope that I will make some problems for our opponent. f4, we go for f5, shutting in the bishop. If he plays bishop e7, we play, but we cannot play immediately. Bishop e7, f5 doesn't work. Yeah, f5 doesn't work because of bishop g5. So let me see. Knight f3. Okay, where do we go next? How do we make problems for our opponent? We don't. Knight f3. We'll go for h4 next. And I'll claim that I have a lot of space. h5, h3. I'll maintain the space advantage. He will most likely take. But he's still underdeveloped. His king is in the center. He needs to make coordination with the rooks. And actually, with this pawn, I might play a4, opening up the queen side advantageously. From the 80s. I think it's from the 80s, and it's I don't know anything about it because I listened to it when I was a child. Right now, I listen to all kinds of things. Uh-huh. All right. Let me see what he's trying to play next. King d7 most likely comes. We'll play king g3 to break out of the pin, and now we'll try to contest the h file because he definitely will. So, aha, so that's what he'll try. Uh, I listen to all kinds of things. A White Snake, I don't know. I listen to, I don't know, you can, Whitney Houston, rap. Uh, there was Robert Miles. Uh, he had that instrumental, Children, I think was called. A lot of things are on my plate. Okay, how do I swindle him? Mhm. I'll play g5. And now his queen side is actually slightly unprotected, so I might have a4. No, he has b4. Uh, okay, so he doesn't want to allow. Aha, so this is the moment of truth. Okay, so now what do you have? Knight h5. We plugged the file. He might play this again. I would, definitely. Uh, I don't know, music. What other things do I listen? I listen to soundtracks a lot. I listen to soundtracks a lot. There are a lot of good things in, and music from the games. Okay, now we have X-ray against the king, and now G6 might become a motif at some point. F5. Ooh, hoo, hoo, my friend, did you just forget about? Ooh, hoo, hoo, en passant, you take. How do I make? What do I? All right, sir. Point taken. Your bishop now cannot join the king side, but he doesn't have to. I'm trying to play around this bishop, but he has b4 if I play a4. And that's the only problem that I see. Okay, rook f1. It's time for this maneuver to exchange the rooks. And after that, things are gonna be. Oh my god, I had knight to g6 and I failed to see it. Idiot, idiot. Knight to g6. The guy was okay. Take, and now let's see. We have a bad bishop on his side of the board. The guy was an idiot because he was a dictator and just that's communism for you. Just okay. Now let me see. If I play b4, he may not take. And I love this move. Now I'm opening up the game on the other side of the board. Now a4 comes. All right. Now we come here. Yeah. No, it's not gonna do any harm. I'm such a small, pathetic streamer that nobody cares about me. Okay, so before b6, uh-huh. Okay, so we go here. So he'll play b5 now. He failed. It's okay. I'm talking about my government. If I was a big boy, he has b6, but then I can go here. So my government doesn't care. If I was somebody big, earning like Gotham Chess or Hikaru, trust me, they would call me. They would call me, they would, okay, b5, b6, uh, checkmate. Okay, that's a national master for you. No, it's not. It's like government like any other. Look, uh, trust me, politicians are all the same. It's just the amount of power that they have. Uh, if you live in the US, you control the world, and they are monsters. American politicians are monsters. If you're a small country, your politicians are monsters too, but they don't have enough power to do as much damage as American politicians can, or I don't know, United Kingdom or someone who is a world power. But they're all the same. They will sell their own mother. And I know I have some uh, family members who are ranked high in political party. They don't know my name. They don't know who I am. Yet we are tightly related. Tightly related, but uh, Farage, well, he did say the truth to the Europeans. You import third world, you become third world, and they will uh, they will learn that the hard way. And I know because we did the same in Yugoslavia. Let me just get a little bit more cozier. It's hot in here. Uh, that's why UK left. One of the reasons. He's not a good man. He's a politician. Trust me. You cannot be a good man and a politician. That doesn't go hand in hand. Uh, so, uh, yeah, the point is that UK is getting stronger and stronger, the way I see it. And now it's time to leave the boat that sinks. And they will start to become, if of course nothing happens, they will become a force they were once in the past, and they don't need the European Union anymore. They are just strong enough on their own, and they will tie even more closely themselves to America, and they will try to make it solo. European Union, they are actually uh, heavily in deep trouble. In deep trouble. I've been to Germany. I worked for BMW recently as a software engineer, and it's not the same country it was when my aunt left in the 70s. Actually, the country is going down. And I know it. I lived in Yugoslavia. We had the golden age, and we have now living hell. So I don't know the good life. I was a boy when Yugoslavia existed briefly during my life, but I do know hell when I see one. And trust me, they are going to hell. They are going straight to hell, down the drain. It's just a slow process because the deeper the pocket, the deeper the wallet, the slower you realize the problem. But trust me, when the money runs dry, it will happen the same thing that happened to us. All hell will break loose. So that's why Britons left, but I don't think they will see any joy either because they imported too many immigrants. And the problem with immigrants is I will, Mr. Hemstad, take a look and let me copy this in Notepad so I don't forget. I always copy paste things in Notepad so I don't forget, and then you can check out the things. Okay, let's play a couple new games. I'm 2200. Come on, let's try to reach more. Okay, another good player. E4, let's try Scandinavian. Trash opening, but I love it because it's so simple for us busy people. There are so little uh, lines to learn, but they are sharp. That's the biggest issue. There's knight f3. So this is a sneaky move. He wants to leave c4 open because knight c3 has a drawback that white cannot play c4, and that's the one of the main reasons Scandinavian survived as an opening. Now this is a bad move, but it pins the uh, d pawn. And the correct move is knight a3. Computer found it, but it's very hard for a non-computer player to find it. Maybe top GMs have enough understanding of the game to find it. Regular Joes and Janes do not. So I'm relatively safe. And now this is a passive placement of the bishop. Bishop needs to go to c4, and then we play d4, bishop on d2. It's very important to line up the queen and then you have knight hop on d5, and that refutes the Scandinavian for you. Dota 2, I played recently, couple of months ago, a little. I played Dota 1, the original Dota in Warcraft. I played Warcraft as well. The Okay, now he wants to play a knight d5, and when I take, he has intermediate move with check. So let us not help our friend anymore. He uh, he really lacks this pawn to have space advantage. Right now, black is equal. Dota 2, I don't like it that much, but I think that Ice Frog did a good thing that he ran away from Warcraft. Yeah, it's very entertaining, but it's just not the game it used to be in Warcraft. So I played it and I didn't get the feels that I had back in the old days. So I don't play it anymore, and my internet is not that strong to withstand it. So until I become eligible for optical internet, and it's gonna take a lot of time because of uh, because I live in the suburbs, and my country doesn't care about infrastructure as long as they can gather money from the poor people. It's kind of like in the British uh, history when king didn't give a damn about peasants as long as they can take some money off of them. Well, uh, the same thing is here. So the optical internet will not happen anytime soon. We are in the state of pre-French Revolution right now. So that will help you to understand what I'm talking about the best. Uh, okay, so he really wants to checkmate me, but now my bishop gets exchanged and I'm standing like a god. Uh, it's time for us to start chopping off some heads. Okay, and now this queen is standing well because she might have queen d6. But wait a second. Yeah, some heads need to be chopped off. 96 doesn't work due to queen g4, and which is a pity. I would love to have that move. So I'll support my queen. So queen d6 doesn't work yet, but maybe it does still work because if I take, cd takes, he doesn't care. Okay, this was a bad move. Now we have queen f5. We cover the square and we actually contest the e file. We want to keep the tension because this file is very important. Uh, let's see. He has this X-ray. Can he somehow abuse it? No. No, he cannot. Knight f3. Okay, it's time for knight g6, hitting the queen. I don't think I have blundered any tactics. And now with e5 covered, knight e5 won't bring him too much. And queen g3, queen f4. I like this because it squelches the queen so nicely. And now my knight will come to f4, and now we have knight e2, for example. Knight e2, or simply f6. f6 will take e5 under control, and after this move, rooks will come off. Definitely they are coming off, and we play the knight endgame, and notice how white is slightly overextended. White is slightly overextended. G2 is still under pressure, so this is a bluff. He's not going anywhere. He just wants to gather some cheap points. But remember, in knight endgames, space plays a big advantage, a big role. This is a tip that I received from Grandmaster. Space plays a role in Grandmaster in knight endgames. So we are going to grab as much. Hey, ProBlades, thank you. Thank you so much for your kind wishes. Uh, Catch you some other time when you rejoin us. So we'll grab as much space because rooks will come off definitely. And now we need to see how to win the knight endgame. And we do have this weakness, uh, knight to d2. He has this move and we'll go here. Mhm. Very nice. Okay, my friend. What about 96? All right. This is not going to be so simple, is it? Not good. Not good. I gave him a good square. Okay, so, uh-huh. Not so simple. He has this maneuver that is actually quite annoying. And knight. Okay, we'll play h5. He'll play knight b3, g3. All right. We'll chop off one pair of rooks. If he takes like this, he will have weakness on g3. And after this move, uh, d4 is kind of weak. So we protect the b pawn, and our knight is going to head towards the f5. And f5 will be such a wonderful square for the knight because uh, try with Golang. Golang is simple. I do that right now. It's simple. Uh, you don't have much problems with Go, and it's popular right now. Okay, his king is defending the d4 weakness. Now knight a5 is about to come, and actually, now I don't know what to do next because uh, how do I break his position? I cannot. All right. If you know C, you will learn Golang in a heartbeat. So go. Okay, this is nice. 96. We're going to try something like this to make some weaknesses against white. You can, Lola. Don't worry. F3, F5. So he might play F4 now. No, he doesn't. All right. So he has this file. He'll claim that he has F file and so that's the point. Okay, now he is way better. He is way better and okay, pardon. Here the king must go. King F4, check. Okay, check. Where do you go next? Did you just blunder, my friend? Yes, you did. Okay, but now we can take, take. He must have c6 of some sort. I'll take it. And after this move, I don't blunder anything yet. Check. I don't care about that pawn. This. Okay, and your pawn is not gonna survive for long. Python is also good. Very sought after. Oh, okay. Nice. Because I don't know how to win, right? Right. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Uh, he's still here. Maybe he'll ask for a rematch. Yeah, Nick is right. But the problem you'll face with Golang is that they will ask of you to understand web as well. And that is something that hinders me because I worked in desktop environment my entire life, my entire career. So I don't know much about web programming. Nick gave you a good advice. Uh, Hello, Nick. But okay, let's go back with the queen. This lineup was uh, really annoying. So let's see what black is fine now. Black is fine. Okay, bishop g4. Let's try to make some weaknesses uh, before we relinquish this bishop because this white bishop cannot survive. I'll have to give him the white bishop. I will have to. But maybe, aha, wow, nice. He exchanged the white bishop. This is nice. Rook fp1. We'll simply finish development. We play safely and simply. Black is fine now. Maybe, okay, I'll take it. And now we get the d file. Now his pieces are passively placed. Queen e2. How do I swindle our friend? Okay, knight to e5. We might exchange, and let's see what else can we do. Maybe let's try to play actively. Uh, aha, bishop d4. Now we exchange the bishops and we control the. Hey, RPD, our friend streamer. Uh, RPD is a fellow streamer. You can check him out too. He streams chess. Hello, RPD. How are you? And now we grab control over the file. This is very important. His queen is actually misplaced on the king side, and we need to generate the counterplay. F2 is weak, and B2 is weak. Uh, you see this? He still wants to attack, and no, I'll check this rook. And now, how do I claim advantage? Where does the advantage come? Queen c5. Queen c5 looks nice. Ah, so he wants a checkmate. No, my friend, I may not allow a checkmate. So he must, most likely will, uh, most likely he will exchange. He refuses to exchange. h6, we make a loft for the king with the tempo because his queen must retreat. And now, okay, b6. We are not gonna give him the a7 pawn. Now we are attacking the king on the first rank. Rook d3. We want to keep the heavy pieces on the board because, okay, c5. So how will he contest my rook? He won't. Now we'll play c4. Slowly but surely gaining the. Okay. What does he have? He has queen e8 and he has. There are so many things in check here. Okay, queen to is this and queen e8. Okay, we have queen f8. This defends everything, so he will most likely go with the check. But I have king h7 now, and we need to. Mr. Hempstead made a counter offer. Well, nice. Make a. You got to learn to negotiate, Mr. Hempstead. Sadly, that's life for us. Uh, that's how life goes. Uh, okay, we would love to play a6 and b5. Yeah, yeah, trust me, you should see how things go when you try to get a job. Why should we hire you? Where do you see yourself in? Uh, hey, no problem, Mr. Hempstead. For Lula. Lula has great design for her Twitch channel. I love her design so much. Okay, so he is going to. Uh-huh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second, my friend. You cannot simply. One does not simply attack. B5, rook b5. Since I use stupid Twitch Studio, it's there is little use of it. Give me a second. I'm gonna get flagged here, and then I'm gonna cry. How I lost the game. That was winning. Yeah. No, he generated a lot of play against this weakness on c4, and I still have these weaknesses, but it's not so easy. He played nice h4, h5, so my king is slightly uh, weak. There are weak squares around it, and we still have heavy pieces, and now it's about millimeters. Uh, it's about who exploits the weaknesses the best. His king is better protected, but f2 and b2 are uh, slightly weak. And on queen c4, I'm planning to play queen b7. Okay, queen to e5. Okay, anything happens now. Anything goes. You're a graphic designer by profession, Mr. Hempstead. Or is it Mr. Hempstead? No, Hempstead, yeah. Steed is with double E. Rook e4. What happens after the after this move? Now we have an X-ray. B5. And how do you defend your rook? I think he drops a rook now. I think he drops a rook because on queen b4 we have a5. And there you go. A slight inaccuracy by my opponent, and the game is decided. c4. But my friend, I have intermediate move too. Take the queen. He'll take the queen, and we take the rook with check, and we just win. Tough one. Tough one. Millimeters. Millimeters decided. Okay, he left. Let's play against a new opponent. And Lefong, thank you for the GGs. Okay, knight f3. C6. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. He plays the Dutch. And these are so, you see the dark squares, we go immediately with bishop f4. And I'll show you another trick that you have, e3. And when he takes, we again accept the double pawns. Knight to, how do I make this work? Knight to d2. Okay, we'll exchange. He does have c5 at some point. Knight e4, knight to d3. Okay, nothing I can do yet. Knight to d3. This is a standard maneuver in the match. One knight is on d3 going, the other on e5. But the question really is, what do I achieve with that play? And I'm sadly, I must confess that I do not see. After f3, that knight goes to g5. Okay, c4. He can take. Well, why not? Simply play c4. We need some action, and now I don't know how the. Okay, so he goes to f5, c5. We'll claim as much space as possible. b4. What next? a6. And let me see. h4 doesn't work. Queen c2. Queen c2. He does have bishop h5. He does have bishop h5. But bishop will not be on the queen side, so we might transfer the game there. His bishop is bad because his pawns are not controlling the dark squares. Okay, this is nice. And I would love to exchange these pieces so I can play against the bad bishop. I'll play h4 and he'll go to f7 most likely, which is nice for me. Aha. Well, my friend, you're not the only one who has a brain. Okay, I'll play knight f4 then, if you want to play the game like that. And actually, uh, I'll take one of them, those knights with the bishop, because my bishop does look pretty, but he doesn't do much. Queen e7, a4. It's time to create some weaknesses on the queen side, because this bishop actually blocks the rook coordination, and we might grab the initiative on the a file. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. I hope it will help you. I hope it will help everyone to improve. So rook fb8, we are transferring everything uh, on the queen side, because now my opponent has no space. Aha. We will exchange knights, but under my conditions. Actually, no, I get a pawn. I get a pawn. He cracked under pressure. And now this is a weakness. This one is bad. And my knight is a powerhouse. g6, king g2. Now we change. Now we change the plan, because position has changed drastically. His king is horribly weak. Look at these squares around the king. Okay, we put one rook on h file and we play h5, but not yet. He has g5. Not yet. Not yet. And we use tactics. Now pay attention. I'll play d5, and if he takes cd5, we take with the rook. Let me just not blunder a pawn. d5, cd5. Rook d5, he has bishop c6. Okay, bad idea. a5, g5, knight g6. If I play this, what happens if I play d5? Aha. Okay, this is nice. I like this. Take, and we have the b7 pawn. So when he plays this, we'll take the b7 pawn and we'll have isolated pawn to attack. Bishop, we have the pin along the queen and bishop. And we have another weakness to target. g4 is slightly loose, and we have better piece coordination, so we will definitely have to use it, but we need to take care about our own goal, so we don't get defeated. Our also we double on the a file, and we hit the base of the pawn chain, and this should tie his pieces even more. He might try rook. If he exchanges, this is his only active piece. If he exchanges, but he must, he will be busted otherwise. Thank you very much. Now this bishop is passive, g5. All right, fair enough. So you have your pieces, I have my. He'll claim that he has h file, e5. Wow, so many sacrifices. Okay, I'll take with the check. I still have this day. We need to see what will my opponent play. His king is actually weaker than mine. So again, we need to change the plan and maybe go with rook on the h file. Yeah, well, actually, we don't have to go there. Okay, we can play the endgame. I'm not squeamish about endgames either. Uh, Rook goes here, and now his entire basic line is weak, and we have queen h8, and then the attack on the base rank, on the 8th rank is indefensible. 2-4, 6, 2-4. We also have two extra pawns, so we can uh, exchange into pawn endgame. He may not take because he drops the queen. So, and if he goes here, then queen h8 will checkmate soon. So he needs to play, you know what, I don't care. Yeah, he just, oh, he wants a rematch. Of course, sir, you're entitled to a rematch. d5, I don't have a repertoire. Oh, c3. Okay, c6, but this works good for me, not for, thank you for the GG's. Okay, f3. Uh, Now he weakened these squares, and f3 does now blocks the knight. So this move didn't bring him uh, much. Bishop e7. We don't want to uh, line up ourselves for the e4. Now let me see. His queen is loose, and we have an X-ray. Always evaluate the every piece in the position. So I might take like this and play e5. It's time. His pieces are passive. This one is blocked. Takes, pardon, takes e5. He doesn't have d5, and no, we'll play c5. And now I claim that I have French defense pawn structure without the white bishop, which is bad. And after knight c6, he still needs to develop his dark square bishop. He still needs to mobilize his rooks, and we actually start to play the game. King h1, queen b6, b2 is under pressure, so these two pieces are not standing well, and this knight also has no squares. And he cannot go here due to c4. There is a fork. So we'll take to prevent bishop a3. And what else can we do? All right. All right. He stands poorly, so I guess f6 can work for us, hitting this pawn. So he must take, or he may avoid that. So he'll, pardon, take maybe like this. Uh-huh. Okay. There must be some sort of tactics here. Not yet. I cannot see anything yet. But okay, knight c5, queen. All right, knight c5, knight e4. He really wants to go for the checkmate. This is the weakness. This is the weakness that he wants to attack. All right, knight b4. But then knight to d4. He definitely has something to work with. Okay, we'll play something like this. And we claim that this bishop needs to find a good square. If we manage to do that, we are fine. Okay, a5. We want to maintain the knight on c5. And yeah, my bishop is not standing well. I need to find a way. Okay, I'll have to take it. Queen to b4. We hit both the knight and the bishop. He does have bishop c3, knight f3. Okay. Uh, Bishop on d8. Ugly move. Ugly move, but e6 is too weak, and he does have knight g5 in his plan. So my knight goes to e4, and then he will be very strong. Okay, a good trade for him. Uh, he has no bad pieces anymore. Queen to e3. My queen is now slightly annoying. He might play knight g5. Let me take the queen. He takes. And okay, things have changed. Bishop b6, c7 is defended, c8 is defended. It's about to open file. He has bad pawns on the dark squares. g6, we might play h6 to stop the knight, but it doesn't matter yet. Okay, h6, thank you for the tempo. Okay, it's time to fight for the c file now. King on f7. We fight for the C file now. This is uh, the most important file on the board. And we have a passed pawn of our own. We talked about passed pawns. They want to move. And now we have bishop e3, claiming the C file for ourselves. Very neat move. Very neat move that will give us initiative. He might play something like this, but we have rook c2 intermediate move to grab the C file, and then the other rook will come after we move the bishop. So it's gonna be rough for white now. Black is better. Black is better. Yeah, rook c2, and now uh, let me see if I can play d4. No, I'm gonna play it safe and play bishop to uh, b6. He might play something like this, hoping for g4 f5, but no. We grab the c file. He'll go for the knight d4. Definitely, knight d4 comes next. To try to hold off the C file, but we might chop off the, yeah, definitely chopping off the rook, the pawn, and the knight. So very tricky for white. He doesn't have open files. Maybe he contemplates. Okay, f5 will come, but not so simple. Okay, we'll take, and now, uh-huh. Rook Rook goes here to g3 to hit this weakness. G3, this h3 pawn is weak, and actually we take away the g. Uh-huh. So this is the idea. Okay, but after this move, I do have. Okay, I'll take. And do you have any move with the rook? Yes, you do. Of course you do. Check this. Knight f3. Yeah. King f3. King f4. And I'm down on time. Nice. So he has this move. Actually, he doesn't have to. He can take the pawn. I'm just playing with him. I cannot take here because, yeah, this. How do I? Okay, maybe I can draw. Knight, I'll take. So where do you go now, my friend? Now I have a lot of pawns. And without the b3 pawn, this is a draw. Uh, what about... uh-huh. So that's what you want to play. a4, king g5. And now the knight is tied to the defense of the rook. So he might play this move. And I really cannot defend it so well. Okay, b5, 7 seconds for both sides. I would love to exchange rooks. I would really love to do that, but yeah, it's about flagging skills. Okay, never mind. All right. Okay, so he'll still continue with his Dutch defense. Okay, e3. Tough. No, I just talk too much, and when you talk a lot, uh, you don't play, and when you don't play, and time flies, then you get flagged. c5. Now we are going to play a slightly faster game. Okay, queen c2. Yeah, now he's kind of, it is, indeed it is, knight to d2. Okay, we'll take. How do you retake? He'll take like this and claim that he has d5 for the knight. No, he doesn't. Okay, first of all, my friend, I have f4. But I'm not going to play 4. I'm going to open up the game because I have much better coordination. Okay, rook f3. Now we're going to double on the f file. But he does have bishop h5. All right, bishop h5, but still his queen side. Yeah, rook f4. We're heading towards the f file, and this is a weakness, g5. Oof, oof, oof. All right, let me slightly exchange this for you. Okay, we need to open up the game somehow. Our pawn structure is way better than his. Uh, just need to figure out how. g4 will, okay, g4. Then g4, okay, take. Okay, I'll take it. So here you are, mister. And after e4, we might have e5 next. Queen. He might play rook here. Exactly, we enter the endgame. And this is such a poor bishop. Should I take? Yes, I should. Actually, we'll take it. And now, let me see. What do we have? b5 takes. We take here, and we grab on b7, b4, b7, b3, bishop e4, and okay, I think that we are standing better in this endgame. Hey, Lucky, welcome back. How are you? So, uh, let me see how can we make this work. He'll take, I'll take. He'll take, we take on d5. before, if I grab on b7, he has b3. Did I calculate this correctly? Because he really needs to do something about his pawns. B6, this is bad. Now we have, remember this trick, we have this idea. Remember this idea, bishop f1, bishop a6. Now he is in dire straits, and I know exactly what to do now. Bishop f1, now bishop a6 is about to come, if he is not careful. Bishop d3, so he cannot enter. Bishop a6 is a tactical motive, but not yet. Okay, h4 to fix this weakness, so he needs to play g4. It's better for him to keep the things closed. No, my friend, first things first, bishop h6. So you may not take, and then we have this move. And now, okay, bishop f3. You may not, you shall not pass, as Gandalf said. You shall not pass. So he needs to play somewhere. And I couldn't care less about, but he does have, yeah, he shall not pass, but he does have bishop to d7, bishop e6. All right. And now his king saves the day. Where do I go? How do I swindle this guy? I cannot. His king is too strong. His king is too strong. So he will collect everything. And on this move, he has bishop g4. And then he is everywhere. He's going everywhere now. All right. All right. So he'll have this move. I have to give him squares. So this, when he takes, we do have this, and his king is stalemated. So now the bishop must move. But actually, I might win this in a slightly different way. Yeah, he may not move with the king now. Not so easy. Yeah, I do have, wow, this is very instructive. Now, this is where he goes. King. I have a tempo. I have a tempo and yet another tempo. So if he goes here, I take, and my king drives away the bishop, and I just collect the whole house. The whole house. Just resign, my friend. Or you can fight. It's your prerogative. Bishop d7, king c7, and the guy just runs. Nice. Nice. This one was nice. Very hard game. Okay. c3, c6, bishop f5. f3 is bad. Bishop d3 is bad because we exchanged our bad bishop for his good one. Bishop e7, we castle. Okay, do I have e4, e5 yet? No, I don't. Knight to d7. Oh man, c5. I forgot. Yeah, c5. Now this is so horrible. My knight is standing so poorly. Okay, f6. And we take. Okay, c5. All right. This knight is so horrible. I need to find a square for this knight. But now he has knight f4. Okay, what did I do? Knight c7, covering these squares, but this knight is so horrible. My entire coordination is now horrible because I needed the queen on b6. Okay, we'll try to play for the minority attack because attacking on d4 will not work. Now our pieces might start to become active after b4. Maybe I can sacrifice the yeah, I can actually. I'll sacrifice on b4. Knight f4. You are just kidding with me, my friend. Take, take, take. Is there anything that he can do? Not yet. Time for a sacrifice. We need to make some play. He has a lot of pieces prepared for the attack. Okay, if I take like this, I'll take like this. And now we have a check. And let me see. How do I... Knight b6, pardon. Knight b6, knight a4 looks nice. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna put this knight to defend, and this knight goes to b5. And this bishop is bad, this one is good. I need to figure out how to exchange these two pieces for his knights and then play against this horrible bishop. Now, this pawn is a weakness as well. Okay, knight. And you'll take on g7 and then you'll just checkmate, right? Very nice. If I take, what do you have? Okay. Let me see. Queen to b1. Now my queen can join the defense of the king, and we do have queen d3 at some point. So this knight, okay, and then where do you go? Nowhere yet. Okay. So many squares. This knight is just no. Uh-huh. And your job would be then to... No, I'm not going to give you that bishop. No way, you're not getting that bishop. So let's see, what will he play next? Queen f4. But, yeah, does queen f5 work for me? No. No, it doesn't. Okay, what about queen d3? How does he defend that uh, knight? I don't think knight g7 works. I'll take with the knight and I'm just standing fine. So he might play knight to g3 again. claiming that I can take this pawn. His mating attack is faster, and why should we uh, risk it when we can have, okay, knight g4. All right, hitting e6. Okay, queen is back, h6 threatens, and then we'll, okay, wow, nice, nice, nice. So we got all these, okay, queen f7, everything is protected so far. This knight is horrible. If I improve this knight, I'm practically winning. But I cannot. Bishop d8. Bishop d8 is your move. Okay. And it's not a bad move, let me tell you. Okay. Hmm. Not so easy. All right, king h8. So I don't have knight to c7. I don't have knight to c7. Uh, and now he hopes that I'm in Zugzwang, because this knight is really a thorn in my side. And now he wants to play bishop b4. Uh, but I'll be back here. And on this move, I'll just say, I ignore your threats. And let's see, what will he play next? Where does he go? Knight g3. Okay, time for g6. And now, since he doesn't have this pin, my king went to h8. We'll play knight g7 and knight f5. And then knight will actually stand well. h4, knight to g7. And I don't care if he plays h5. I'll exchange a pair of knights. Okay. Queen. And when he goes here, yeah, he does have this move, which will be rough. But actually it won't be. My knight can catch it in time. So now we just want to put my king on f7, and we are actually standing well. King doesn't really matter anymore. After, I'll take it. And here I am now. Now he is the one. Okay, knight d7. You need to play, my friend. No, no, I'm not gonna give you my good bishop. Knight b6, knight a4. Here it is. So he'll play, yeah, knight a4. He has bishop b4. Uh, knight. Now we have knight d3. Knight to d3. He might hop in with the knight. But now my bishop is actually good. Where do we? Aha, here we go. Knight goes to e2. Take. This. Bishop b4. Okay, knight goes to e4 now. A wonderful square for the knight, and now he needs to play king h5 next. Okay, thank you for the pawn. No, my friend, you cannot pass. You cannot pass. Remember what our boy Gandalf told you. This. And I just lost too much time defending. Okay, never mind. I think he left. Yeah, he had enough. Uh, I just, okay, let's see. Zahar. Wow, c6, and we go here because the bishop actually. Uh, it was a GG. I just lost too much time defending because I allowed knight e8, and that knight cost me the time because I needed to figure out how to make it work, how to bring it to a good square. Otherwise, uh, with a little bit more time, he would be completely outplayed. Bishop e7. Okay, we both finished development. Now let's see. What do we have to fight with? We cannot hope to e4. We cannot. Okay, we'll play a4. a5, a4, hoping to. Oh, ho, ho. Wow, wow, wow. No. It's about c file, but you cannot have c file because I have bishop a3. And this is the move that people uh, forget a lot about, but now we rule with no. Give me a second. Queen a6. Now the rook hangs, and when he takes, okay, no problem, and we take with the double pawn, and we are not afraid of the double pawns in this position. Uh, let me see what else can I do. We are not afraid of the so he wants to keep the queens. Queen c6, we have the c file, and let me see. Do you threaten anything? No. What is your threat? Nothing. Okay. Let's play the endgame, my friend. How will you play the endgame? With this bishop. Takes. Yeah, I have everything covered. Okay. All right. Now the a2 is weak. Now the a2 is weak. This, we have bishop b2, rook b. So this is your idea. Okay, b6. So he'll play 95. Okay, 95. And I do have this move. And now my king comes to chase away the bishop. And okay, after that, we return to the c file. Slight positional advantage, but hey, you need to learn to play with millimeters if you want to become a master sometimes. So we still have a slight positional advantage in view of the c2 square and c file. Okay, now he is. First things first. You need to defend. King f3, nice. No, we'll go here first. So now he doesn't have c7 square, and this bishop is entombed. King cannot enter. Now we have a passed pawn. Now we have a passed pawn because these are doubled. g4. We can take. Yeah, I'll take. Yes, my friend, but you forget that I have bishop c5, and your bishop is still horrible. Rook b3, b5, and we have a passed pawn here. So this bishop will be so... Uh-huh. All right. He'll play g6 most likely. So his bishop can return to the queen side, or you can stay locked forever. Hey, why should I care? Why should I care if you don't care? Bishop d2. All right. So he'll play something like this, but we exchange the rooks and the game is pretty much over. Bishop d2, very well. You can play that too. Okay. He is trying to resist, but it's not gonna help because now I need to activate my king. He has no open files for attack. Time for tactics. Rook c3, rook c3, bc, dc partner take, c2, bishop e3. No, he has bishop a3. He has the bishop a3. Okay, we'll defend. And it's time for our... okay, our king is going to approach. Where is your bishop now? Okay, and after, say, king f4, but that doesn't play any important role. a3, rook behind the pawn. We talked about this, but we don't have to. He just cannot prevent the queening. Okay, and now what? Check. A spiteful check, but okay. What else? Nothing. Yeah, lost. Dead lost. He left a small advantage of the open file, but it is important to use every weakness that the opponent gives you. Okay, let's try d4. Okay, this is not good. We grab space, and okay, we're not going to be greedy. Bishop, knight. Well, maybe we can be greedy just a little bit more. Knight. Just a little bit more. Okay, well, you need to develop, my friend. You need to find some moves. Aha. Bishop d3. First the bishop, because I don't want to play knight c3. Now the c pawn cannot take part into in the fight for the center. We want to have a big center because our friend allowed us to uh, have space advantage. So why not use it? We want to use space to attack, and we want to occupy the center with the pawns. We talked about this. Aha. Very well. I'll take it. He needs to take with the pawn, otherwise he'll get a fork. Okay, knight to c3. These are all weak. He does want to change the pawn structure, but we are not going to take here because d4 would become so weak. We are going to go for castles. We finish development. Now this knight obstructs the bishop. And actually, let's try to open up the game with c5. If he takes on c5, we take this pawn. So this is a deflection sacrifice of the pawn. If he plays on d5, well, again, we don't have to take, we can actually just take with the knight. So either way, his center collapses. We are opening up the game, we are better developed, and we have better coordination. He has weaknesses around his king. And wait a second, my friend. Where does it go? f5, bishop f4, check, king h1, you'll have f5. You know what? I think that knight e5 does work. I think we do get a lot of compensation, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 5, in view of the mobile pawn phalanx and better piece development. Because he does have extra piece, but we do have practically finished. We have finished our entire development, and we will uh, push away his pieces now. So let me see. Bishop d7, e5. We need to start attacking. He wants to castle, and that's something that we may not allow. If the knight moves, we have queen h5 check, which is very beneficial to us to stop the castling. But not actually, we won't have to hurry so much. Bishop f5, okay. If we take, how do you retake? How will you take knight d5? We do have check. e6, bishop, okay, queen to h4, or what? Bishop g5. But he has bishop, okay, bishop g5, definitely. If he moves on c7, but he has king c7. Yeah, okay, he'll still play. He'll still play the game. With queen to I shouldn't have played bishop g5. I should have played queen to g4 maybe, or something like that. But okay. Yeah. Bishop e7, I'll gladly take. Queen. Okay. Where do we play now? Queen to f3. Bishop. I want this knight exchanged, but he does have knight f6. Check. No, no, not like this. Bishop, not like this. He has bishop h5 exactly, and now he coordinated his pieces, and he has d1. Not good. Oh man, and he has knight g4. There you go. Actually, he has queen h2 as well. Okay, bishop f3. Let's exchange. This knight will help him a lot. Take. Let's grab as much as we can. Queen d4. That's fair enough. And I give you check. And you need to run away. But now I have queen e5. And this is not gonna be so... Ooh. Rook a d1. You need to defend your rook, my friend. Okay, we'll take. And let me see. F6, knight F6. Give me a second, please. A3. How do you defend the rook? This is my question. How do you defend the rook? You don't. And yeah, wow. One. I wonder, he left. I just wonder, was the sacrifice justified? I would really like to see this. F5, I played all the, thank you, Nick, all the computer moves, almost. Okay, bishop E2, no, I played C5. I'm still winning, nice. Okay, and we played 95. So the sacrifice does work, nice. Barely. 5, king h1, but how did I misplay it? E5, 95, 94. Yeah, this is the problem, 94. And you keep initiative by hitting the queen, and you have 96. Wow, that was, Jesus Christ, I need to, yeah, so because this way, okay, queen h5, king d8, bishop g3. Okay, and this is the moment where he wins. Yeah, so bishop g3 and then bishop h4. Yeah, it's tough to play these, but okay, he was winning. Yeah, he was winning after that. Simply, why? Can he not play something like this? Yeah, and simply win the game. He had something like that. It's forced, I cannot defend. He still wins. And after this, yeah, he blundered. Okay, well, luck favors the brave, as people say. So let's play a couple of more. Who are you? 2280. Okay, F4. Okay, let's see what else do we have. Okay, so E4 will be weak if he plays D4. That's why you never see F4 in the big games. Bishop G4. Okay. Knight F6. Very well. 7. Hey, catch you later, Nick. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. E3 is now weak and F4 is now weak. So we need to figure out how to put pressure on our opponent. But actually, let me see. What does he threaten? Nothing yet. So we'll play A4 to A5 to try to play A4 and open up uh, another point of attack. He doesn't want to allow it. Okay, my knight doesn't do much. So I'll play knight b4 to pressure c2. If he plays c3, then d3 will become weak. His entire pawn structure is actually very fragile. Mhm. Okay, we'll play rook c8 and hope for, okay, all right, I'll, who has the space advantage? He would love to have, now this is a tough decision. If I take, He'll take and he'll have enough space for his pieces. If I don't take, then my bishop might fall to... Okay, let's try not to allow him. Okay, let him play g4. I don't care. Uh, I'll simply play h6 and pray. And pray. Knight to e5. Very well. Now I need to take. And after knight to d7, he might go here, claiming that he has some X-ray attack against the g7. But this is very weak. And c3 will become very weak. So knight f3, I will gladly take. He does have to take with some piece knight. Okay. Knight to c6. Rook. I like the rook here. And now we play after f5, bishop f6. Definitely bishop f6. And once he exchanges the bishops, he doesn't want to exchange the bishops. But what do you have then? Bishop c3. He does go for d4 at some point, doesn't he? Okay, we'll play e5. Now this pawn doesn't participate in battle, in the attack. Queen g4, and now we play rook fe8, and we'll play d4. Counterintuitive, yes, we are blocking our bishop with our own pawns, but this bishop is restricted, and we have bishop g5, and we'll have a nice diagonal for the bishop. So notice that his bishop has only, okay, d4. He did the job for us. So now we just need to play bishop g5 next and check. And after f6, he has nothing to attack. So bishop g5, we attack the rook. And after this check, we do have queen g5 exchanging, and this is actually very nice for us. His attack had been beaten off. He has nothing to attack anymore, and we need to now use our space advantage to actually create some attacking chances on the queen side, which is what we will do. Bishop on e3. We are not interested in his kingside games. We are interested in opening up the position on the queen side. We'll play b6 to protect the c5 pawn. He does have c3 because my bishop may not move at the moment, but his bishop is actually restricted. And we might play f6 next. There are too many pawns on the board. That needs to change. G4. Here we go. He'll definitely try something with, okay, king e7. Maybe before, okay, here I am with the king. And actually we'll try to use our king to, okay, penetrate. G5. All right, we'll have the king here. King f7. He doesn't have much. But he will definitely try something with g6. Definitely. He has some play in that regard. This bishop is still out of play. So bishop b2, bishop f4. H5, takes, takes, bishop. Let's go H5. So he will take en passant and he'll take with the bishop. He'll take with the bishop and no, we cannot, not yet. So definitely, yeah, he'll take en passant. No, okay, so he closed everything. Okay, and then, and now bishop, okay, F3, and let's see. He will be busy. Here he cannot defend his pawn. Now we are opening up the files for our rooks. And yeah, he does have some play. But my rooks should be faster. I should be faster than him, and once they reach the baseline, he should be done for. C4. Okay. He might take, but I'll take with the king, and F5 is under pressure. On E6, F5 again drops, so my rooks already started to work. And actually, I don't have to play CD. I can play C3, pardon, and claim that C2 will pawn and queen. So again, he is in deep trouble, even in that line. So how do you defend? Okay, takes, and let's see, takes. What do you play? Okay. Oh man, I'm getting checkmated with bishop d6. I blundered. Uh-huh. Pardon. Here it doesn't work. No. Just get out. Just make a move or two and flag him on. Yeah, I misplayed. I misplayed. Never mind. Knight f3. How come? Okay. Okay, what will he choose to play now? Reversed Benoni, perhaps. Perhaps. He might play 5. I don't think d3. Does it work? Knight. This. Okay, what about... So you defend twice. And okay, knight c3. And on e4, what do we have next? 5. Queen e4. All right, let's see. This is where you are, e4. e4 is defended twice, and now we get the pawn. We get the pawn on d3, and that's advantage white. Bishop g4. No, you're just kidding. On bishop e2, I grab the bishop with knight. He's just kidding. He has nothing. Now knight e5 is a threat. A juicy jump. Knight e4, very well. Bishop e4, and my friend, you miscalculated because you don't exactly now take and play knight e5, hitting the bishop. Ooh, a tilt. Very well, I'll take it. Hey, you don't have to ask me twice. Yeah. Okay, knight f3. Who is this? Again, a decent player. I don't understand. I'm 22-43. Why do I get lower rated players? How come I don't get somebody who is stronger? So we can see me losing. No, my friend, I don't care about the bishop. Double pawns, we talked about it. We get e5 and semi-open e-file. And since they are the part of the pawn structure, we have no pawn islands. We are actually satisfied. We are not afraid to accept them. Now, uh, we don't have black bishop, but he doesn't have a knight. Uh, I'll try to do that, Lula. Immediately after this game, c5. Okay, let's hop. Let's hop with the knight, hitting the bishop, and hopefully if he takes with the knight, I will be very happy because his bishop will be dead because our pawn structure is hindering it, and we do have queen a3, knight b3 at some point. Uh, okay, this is even prettier, even better. Now, queen a5. Is that the move? Is that how you play with friends? G5. Wow. G5. G5. No, we need to play in the center. He counters on the king side. We need to counter on the in the center. We use open file as a source of counterplay. B6, rook c3, and now he has a weakening. He has a weakening, and now if he takes, we take with the queen. He doesn't have the c file anymore, and queen c. Wait a second. Give me a second, please. Queen c6 is nice. We want to exchange the queens. This g5, I mean, it's just, it doesn't do anything for him yet. And bishop f5, I'll take it. I'll take it. You must take with the... Why are you thinking, man? You need to take with the rook. Are you crazy? Jesus Christ, man. Exactly. You have zero options. Bishop f1. We reroute the bishop somewhere more useful. He will play king g7. We'll use all the time we can get to reposition our pieces. Look at this bishop. He is physically cut off from the queen side. The point of bishop f1 to take, d3 from him, so he cannot reposition back. And now we have bishop b5, and this rook will need to stay somewhere. On rook b7, we have bishop c6, and then he'll have to go to e7 with the rook blocking the bishop. So we'll gain even more time to reposition our pieces advantageously for the attack. Maybe a3 next, b4, knight b3, knight. Well, actually, okay. Thank you, sir, very much. Where do we play next? Knight f3. Okay, we'll attack this pawn to gain time to reposition our knight on b4. Knight e4, f3. We are going to improve the position of our king. Next, bishop c6, and now rook needs to block the bishop again. Uh, let's see. If I play knight d3, he will chop off the knight, and he'll claim that he is winning. So we may not allow that for our opponent. King g8, but we need to. And now he will have opposite colored bishops. No, he won't. He doesn't want to allow it. So now things change. Now we have all our pieces on the queen side. This bishop is out of play. This bishop is out of play. Rook is horribly mispositioned. So we can play something along the lines of bishop b5. Knight c6 is coming. But actually I don't have much, do I? With knight c6. No, I don't. Uh-huh. a3. Sir, you're just a ghost. And now, yeah, knight e8, knight d6 comes. A lot of hard moves for black. This is not gonna be easy for him to play. Maybe even this. Yeah, I like this move. Knight d7, the bishop falls. The bishop falls. It was hard. Okay, and now bishop, rook. His bishops are completely contained. b5, b6 falls, and it's a tough positional battle, but in the end, white wins. Slight space advantage, and he is busted. Sir, you have 20 seconds and you're down an exchange. Your position is horrible, you have no counterplay. Why are you playing? Very well. Okay, let's see, where do we have preferences? Check game display, profile. No, it's not here. Does it work like this? This is the only thing that I see. This symbol. Okay, forward. No, I don't think you can do that. So we're stuck playing who we get. Okay, it doesn't matter. 2400. Okay, this guy is strong, and I played Scandinavian. Uh, nice. Playing the Scandinavian versus 2400. Okay, yep. He is blunting the bishop. With this move now, he has this bishop e7, queen c7. I don't recall. I used English a lot, and in my profession, you need to be fluent to talk to the employers because most of my employers are foreigners. Wow, run. He has no tactics against f7. If that is what he was hoping for, yeah, he runs home, and that's a tempo loss. We have a useful Luft and useful control over g file. So now it's time for us to move, and we can actually try to create some chances for ourselves. No bishop f4. So he goes for c4, pardon. He goes pardon. He goes for c4, most likely, pardon. He'll go for c4, most likely. a5. Okay, g4, bishop g6, g5. I'll take it. And of course, you will go there too. And now what? You have a checkmating attack. Is that what you're claiming? But no, you don't. Knight to b4. He may not push c3 because d3 falls. And there are some sacrifices looming. Ooh, knight g3. So we have a friend who really wants to attack. He really wants to attack. Knight to c5. I have two bishops to defend. I should have something. And actually, now I might sacrifice on d3. I really do. b3. But let's first introduce the last piece into the game. So his pieces are slightly misconfigured. Okay. So after I take knight. Knight. How do you defend next? Knight f2, bishop. Check. No, you cannot. Let's go. Screw it. I think I have calculated everything well. I think I have calculated everything correctly. Because after the queen takes, we have knight d3 with tempo. With tempo, h5. Okay. Very well. Bishop d3. And where is your attack? You still have a rook hanging. Queen g4. Any checkmating ideas? No. Rook d4. The queen is not so happy. All right. I'll take. You'll take. And let's see. I'll comment on that afterwards. I'm low on time. Please give me some time. Bishop g5, bishop g5. No. I have something like this. What is he trying to do? Okay. Rook d2. Knight f3. Rook d3. This is sharp. That's why I need to calculate. h6. Okay. And okay, I'll take it. He's nearing my time. We have open h file for counterattack now. His queen is actually very, very badly positioned and he has nothing else to attack. Bishop is standing closed. Rook hits the wall. Knight will defend. And the queen has no squares. So the moment I play rook h8 and exchange queens, my knight will start, yeah, rook d5. And he has no knight g5 because rook takes. So, so he'll play something like this. Knight e5. No, you have nothing yet. I haven't blundered yet anything. So the queen needs to retreat. Once the queen, and probably to e2. Probably to e2. Take. Knight b3. cd5. Yeah. Knight c5. b6. Get out. Ah, did I just allow it? Did I just allow it? For God's sake. Hello, Mosias. How are you? In a Zeitnot. In a Zeitnot. It's not so good, but okay. Why am I allowing him this? Why, man? Why? Yeah, I can't believe I lost a one game. Sorry. Yeah, No, I'm not gonna play like a ox. When you threaten a piece in a bad position, is it like you're giving the piece a chance to move to a better square? I don't understand the question. Let's try to analyze it to see what you were thinking. So I'm not. I was never bad in this position. I just okay. So here he made a mistake. This is just a stupid move. He threatens nothing, and now it's time for black to grab initiative. So I guess I should have gone e5, but I played knight d5. He went back. Yeah, e5. I should have played e5 to blow him away in the center. I played poorly, and now uh, a5. It's still not bad. G4. He just played horribly. Knight b4. d8. These are all computer moves, and uh, now we feel the weakness of these pawns because look how many pieces attack them, and we see the X-ray, and we see that these pawns are his cover. His king is weak. This knight is loose because f2 might fall. So everything in his position is overextended. Knight c2, queen c. He played h5, bishop d3, queen h5, rook d4. I think, yeah, I played an exemplary. Okay, here I made a mistake. Yeah, he had queen f5. Yeah, this was a mistake due to time pressure. And here I couldn't find a killing blow. But maybe, yeah, simply queen d8. Moving back the knight would have won. Okay, so he didn't see it. Knight f3, rook f2. You see the tactics. Why? Aha. Rook f2 and then knight d3. I played this, h6. I played queen f4. I'm still winning. And here I had 1 minute, and that's the only problem. Otherwise, I would have converted. He was lost. I blundered, but still the position is 1. Okay, b6. And here he tricked me. I thought he will play rook b5. Okay, so yeah. After this move, yeah, he just. I mean, even here, I don't lose after the. Yeah, I'm still fine. Even here, maybe, yeah, but now I had 40 seconds and I just. Uh, uh, I lost. Never mind. In a bad position, you don't give, well, when you threaten a piece, it will always have a chance to go to a better position, but every time you threaten a piece, you give it a chance to go to a better place. You need to choose your battles. You need to choose uh, when to threaten it. Okay, fine. Fine, my friend. We'll hit in the center. And now this is, pardon, a backward pawn. 90, pardon. Queen c2, you castle. And let's see, this position. Aha, very well. How do I exploit this? Queen d6. And he's going to have to play knight c3 at some point. He wants to play some shenanigans with some bishop d3 ideas. Of course, it's not going to work. d3. Now your bishop is horrible. Bishop to e6. We just developed. He will have to play knight c3 at some point. He will go knight d2, of course. And let's see. Knight c4 comes next. Hmm. All right, knight b6. This, okay, I have some ideas. Okay, a5, a4. We want to weaken his light squares. What do you do? You see, he just plays nonsense, and he now has b5, and he says, "Well, uh, I'm gonna claim the pawn, but no, you won't." And now we need to open up the center. His king is in the center of the board. Knight e4. Wow. Queen d5. It's time to play f6 prophylactically and reposition our pieces. Okay, f6. This bishop is horrible. And this bishop is horrible. Knight cannot play. This knight is the only good piece. No, my friend. No. What about f5? No, we'll put the pressure on this pawn as much as we can. So let's see, he has knight c5. This is his best chance, and we'll just chop off the knight. Rook c5, queen to d6 is good enough. What will he play next? b5? Not much. Uh-huh. So he goes to e4, but we have f5 now. b5 doesn't work. He drops the rook, but if he reinforces, then my center will be slightly loose. Yeah. If he reinforces, then b5 works, so I'll have to force the rook back. Now let's see. Knight c4, okay. I'll take, he'll take with the rook. And let's see, what else can we play? e4 doesn't work. f4 doesn't work yet. Queen to d5. He has bishop f3, okay. I get it. Knight b6, knight d5. Where do we go now? After b5, he grabs the knight for free. Knight e7, and we'll try to play b5 and c6. I don't have much options. He has bishop pair, so d4, b5, and he has this move. He has the, yeah, and then he has knight c, yeah, and after this move, now b5 pawn drops. Rook d4, nice. Rook d4, no, I'm just lost here. Yep, it's lost. He'll take, and then he takes on b5. He can even take on c7. everything falls apart. I'm still tilted from the game against that guy. Yeah, he just really doesn't care. He has so much. Knight to g4 doesn't work. These pawns are no longer important. The only thing important is counterplay. So if he takes here, his bishop will be out of. Okay, that's nice. Now g4, how do you defend this? Please tell me. Bishop c4 by playing this. Very nice. Very nice. And now rook d1. But we do have a smothered mate. We do have a smothered mate. My friend. Uh-huh. Keep underestimating. This is for the audience. This is for the viewers. Come on, friend. Let me finish the game in style. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Where will you go? Here, checkmate. Here, well, here we just queen g1. Yeah, resign. Resign. Wow, I saved that one. Nice. Nice. Because if he goes here, he loses. Yeah, he plays. Okay, who do we play next? 22-7 Publix fried chicken. Very well. Okay, I'll play Scandi versus you. 93 is the strongest, but a few people know that because Scandi is not a popular opening. He's playing passively. C6. I'll take it. And now we have Caro-Kann pawn structure. Black will stay on his side of the board, finish development, and will strike afterwards. And he doesn't have this move, so I don't care. As long as he cannot jump on d5, taking the bishop, I'm fine with any discovered attack he makes. a4, bishop b4. Now there will be a lot of exchanges when the knight moves. And my queen stays on a strong square. So let's see. Knight e4, I will take. We exchange everything. Full house. Everything. Just simplify. Let me see if he takes 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 5. I'm a piece up. So here he restores, takes. He has 2 pieces. I cannot sack on f2. But I can do something like this. Now the knight needs to retreat, which makes his knight g5 attack slightly slow. And we have rook hd8 with knight c5 coming. Because if he takes, the x-ray on the queen will cost him the queen. And again we have knight c5 because d2 knight is on the x-ray, so we can return the piece even then. So the question is, that's how you play the game, right? Okay, knight f6, but then, okay, knight f6. No problem. He'll play something like this. He'll take and we'll play h6. Wow, knight c3. Okay. Queen did her job here, so queen might go. Where do we put the queen? Nowhere yet. It's time for e5. Before pin. He might play something like this, though. But okay, take. If he exchanges this rook, we gain the d file. I like that. And yeah, yeah. Now, how do you play exactly? And now this knight is lined up. So let's see if we can grab some initiative. Uh, don't forget the back rank weakness. Our baseline is kind of bad. Hey, thanks you, Lula. I owe you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see, how can we make... Okay, h6. We need to make some loft for the king. He may not take... now he can. Now he can take the pawn. Good night, Lula. Good night. Thank you again for the raid and for joining the stream. Thank you. Couldn't have made it without you. You helped a lot. Uh, Queen e7, rook d7. Now queen needs to retreat. Now we might reposition. Queen e5, okay. Where do we go now? I just cannot swindle the guy, and that's it. There is nothing I can do. It's such a... Okay, and after rook d3, king f8. Now this, his pawns are slightly overextended, but after rook e3, yeah, okay, check. And after this move, actually, how does he defend the c3 pawn? What is your counterplay, my friend? You don't have counterplay. Rook e5. I'll take it. What have I missed? He has to play something like this. And then we have rook d5 next, maybe. Rook c5, rook to d5. Ah, oh my god, my knight. Yeah, well done, Enade. Well done. Blunder a knight instead of taking it. Why would you win the game? All right. All right. And now he has... Okay. And this is checkmate, right? Yeah, g5. Now how do you defend? King g8. Knight. I hope I'll be fine. And now he wants to play the pawn endgame. Maybe I can draw this. I think this can be a draw. This endgame. Yeah, my friend, this will be a draw. Yep, saved, saved. Ah, cancel. No, cancel. I offered a rematch by clicking on the wrong button. Very well. d4, who are you? 2177, okay. Again, we want these double pawns, they're good. We won't. We don't mind them because they are not isolated, they are not weak, they're part of the pawn structure, and we do get some open files and cover important squares for ourselves. So queen b3, b7, pardon, hangs, and now we have c5 and semi-open c file for ourselves. So it's not such a bad trade. e5. All right, I can take. So can you, very well. Double pawns disappeared, and we have Carlsbad pawn structure that arose. My queen is misplaced, but so is his knight. He wants to go for the kingside attack. Uh, but there are so many little pieces left. So queen d1, queen f3 should most likely defend the attack. Meanwhile, repositioning of the rooks will make everything just fine for us. This knight d6, now he just plays a poor move. So now after this move he has no attack, and after g4 he might go knight d6. He should go knight d6, and rook b3, and we'll go for again another mistake. We have c5 to prevent everything in every course of action in black camp. So now rook e5 will come, rook c1 will come. We'll play rook a5 as well to enforce yet another weakness. So hard times for our friend. Hard times, but we have a microscopic advantage. Microscopic advantage. f6, blocking the rank that is very important for his rook. Okay, let's get rid of this double pawn. He doesn't do much, and I would love to isolate the e-pawn to create even more weaknesses. So should he take, then the e-pawn will become weak. Okay, I'll take. And I claimed it after king h2. Now rook comes here, king h goes to g1, and we have the rook ready for action. Very well. We'll take king g3, and now this one is isolated, and we head towards e5. And yeah, so he might play rook d5 next. Yep. b4, h5. So he'll go here most likely next. But it's all about the pawn endgame. And we actually do have d5, a5 idea. b6, d5, and he doesn't. Okay, after d5, king f6, I take, king a6, takes, d5, king f6. He's in the square. Yep, he's in the square. d5 takes, takes, and then takes. King e6, f4. I should still. Let me try. Let me try. I have to make some action. So he needs to play king f6. This loses because he's not in the square. He's not in the square. So he needs to move immediately. He doesn't have uh, any choice to go there. Takes, takes, f4. Now this is another passed pawn that will go. Takes, uh, takes, king d6, f4. And if he takes, he's still in the square. So he should be able to reach. This is a race now. This is a race, and I think I should win. I think I should be the one winning the race. King d5 takes, king e4, king g5, and if he goes here, takes. The moment he steps, I just move the pawn. Queen, and this is one. Okay, pardon. Go here. And I simply go to b1 and he'll never queen. Again, my king will approach and bye-bye. Yep. Yep. Wow, this was precise. Yeah. It doesn't matter, sir. You will. Okay. And after this move, it's checkmate. Close. So if you're not uh, e4, d5, who is this guy? Okay, 21. So if you're not a sub, you cannot play against famous streamers. Jesus Christ, why? Why are you discriminating people? Not everybody has the money to spare, especially in these days. Uh-huh. c6. So he'll play bishop d2 most likely. No. What is this? And then f4. Okay. Knight to d7. But I do have a retreat square. Mhm. Very well. I can run away too. So g4, knight. Uh-huh. Okay. We can exchange the bishops. I have no problem exchanging. I'll go back as well. This is a weakness now. Well, not a weakness, but definitely a problem. a5. We go for b5 next and a4. And you see how this bishop is now slightly... Okay, b4. Where do you go now? Now he has to play, yep, 94, we can take, he can take, we'll take. And after knight f6, my knight is just as good as this pathetic bishop. Let's see. Knight to d5. On c4, we take en passant. And we'll have queen b8 next. Actually, rook a b8. Ah, yeah. So if he ever tries to go c4, we'll take, and the bishop will be under x-ray. So the pawn, when he retakes, will block the queen from defending. I love this. Exchanging the queens, and now let's see. How do we? We'll siege the pawn, the d pawn now. We'll try to siege the pawn, and let's see what does he have? Nothing yet. c4, take, c4 again. No, you know what? h5. Let's make some loft for the king. g6. And actually now the g4 square is weak, and that's a new opportunity for black, because so he doesn't want to allow it. Knight b6, c3, c5, no, tap. f5. King to f6. Rook to d6. Rook to c8. We are going to push c5. Yeah, nice. Okay. And then what? King e7. Takes. It's gonna be a rough game. A really rough game. c3, I'll take, go here, and ask him where will he go next. If he moves the bishop, the c3 pawn drops, and there is b file. I should have gone to b file immediately. Now he can take it. This was an imprecise move that gives him a lot of chances. Rook b8. He doesn't have anything at the moment, and now my rook is about to c4. Rook to b4. He can play c5. I have blockade, and d4 and a4 are weak. Take. If I take on d4, he can take here, and I go, and then all right. This. What do you play next? Check, most likely. You know what they say, Patzer sees a check, Patzer gives a check. Yeah. And now if he returns, if he runs away, then I have he needs to go here and then here to create some checkmating threats. But give me a second, please. Ah, no. Stupid mouse slip. Ah, god damn it. Stupid mouse slip. Alright, I'll play one more game and call it a night. Hopefully I'll win. Get out. There is nothing here. For you, he can take, but I can take back. The pin is not working. All right. I'll take like this. Okay, and after the, what do you have? This? No, bishop b5. King e2, very well. I respect that. Good move. Good move. Uh, a6 might come. And then where do I go? Nowhere. Knight f6. Knight to e5. Okay, now he's under a bind. He missed his chance to save the day. He might have knight e4. Yeah, a clever tactics. But after rook fd1, there are no checkmates. There are no checkmates anymore. Yeah, rook d1. No more checkmates for you, my friend. And on rook c8, rook a c1 comes, and on queen b6, I have queen a4 with a decisive pin. Okay, knight takes, we hit the queen. So he needs to take with the bc, and we can take with the check. Takes, he doesn't have anything yet. Okay, we'll take with the check. Okay, queen a3 doesn't help much. Neither does. Okay, f3, we need to chase away the knight. This is very important. Rook b8. Bishop b7. Now rook c6 is a threat. Okay, we have so little now. Yep. Actually, he'll get the bishop. Oh my God. He'll get the bishop. He had the bishop. Definitely. Bishop d3. I am more lucky than smart in this game. h5. e4. Let's try to make some game. Something. I mean, there is nothing I can do. And now he can take, yeah, g3. No, e5. This. F4. And if he takes, there is another open file. That's the problem. Where to play, what to do. Knight b1, knight c6. Knight b8, knight c6 is a good, okay, and I have to take h3. Now he has knight h4, knight e4, yeah. Stupid move. Okay, I'll take it. He'll probably take, yeah. Takes, and rook g8. He's still better. This e6 hangs, and I'll simply take. Give him the rook, I don't care. He had so many moves. His disposal to win. He can win any way he wants. I don't know what he's doing. What is he trying to do? Just take the rook and win. Knight g5. Very well. And let me see. Take, king d3. We have this move. I think he overlooked it, but now there are no checks, right? Check, pardon. Okay, take it. He has 20 seconds. I guess I should flag him. I should be able to. I play horribly now. I guess I lost too much concentration in the meantime. Uh, I don't know. Let's see. Who can we raid? Give me a second. Let's raid someone. Let's give it a go. Yeah, two viewers. It's not gonna bring any joy any soon. Yeah, let's try. Who are you? Okay, let's check out this guy. He's similar to me. It seems that he is of similar skill and he also explains his moves. So let's check it. Let's check him out. That's it from me for now. Thank you, everyone. Peace.
Bishop takes, he might ping my bishop. So queen takes d4 has to be played. And now if he trades, he loses an exchange, so he needs to move the queen out. c5 break. Hey, thanks for the raid, man. Welcome, raiders. I hope you had a nice stream.